I have to say, the industry has been through a lot over the last 3 years. I think many of us have been very optimistic that things were going to improve, in Q1 of 2024 and
Yeah.
expecting, oh, we'll have a better second half of 2024 and we're going to have a strong start, to 2025. And it's been a lot of that waiting and hoping,
Yeah.
and it's been a challenge. And so when you think about that, I go back to that position of whether you're putting yourself in a victim mentality or putting yourself in a powerful position. And we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're just waiting and hoping that the economy is going to get better or that the job market is going to get better. What we need to do is acknowledge the reality of what the current economic trends are
Yes.
and find pockets of where there's opportunity,
Yes.
leverage data and insights so that when you're prioritizing your time every day, every month, your plan for the quarter strategically of what you're doing, that you're making sure you are aligned with where opportunity is and what can you do to put yourself and your business in a better position today and tomorrow, than it was in last week. And so it all comes together, I think, from that prioritization standpoint, using your time wisely,
Yeah.
but don't sit around and just wait and hope it's going to get better, because
Yeah.
you will put yourself more in that victim mentality versus a very powerful position.
I have a talk here at Haley Marketing of what the best staffing and recruiting firms do differently. It's actually a talk that I'm going to deliver at Staffing World this year. And one of the first slides is I believe the best staffing and recruiting firms have a vision. And I allude to a lesson from Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich, specifically on that slide. And for me, it is having the optimistic mindset. It's knowing we're going to get over that mountain. Here's the
Hmm.
strategy for how we're going to get here. And here are the day-to-day tactics and how we're going to get there. And too often, I have calls with people throughout the industry where we're still just waiting for orders to come in. We're waiting for the industry to return to how it was pre-COVID. And I don't know if I need to be the voice of reason on this show to say that I don't think that's ever going to come back. That's not the way that I envision staffing and recruiting ever going again. I think the landscape of the industry has just shifted too much in just a small amount of time, where we instead need to be seen as trusted advisors and trusted consultants and work closely with our clients and prospects. I don't think the industry is going to go back to a way of just, hey, today's your lucky day, I have an order for you. So the best staffing and recruiting firms have that strategic vision. They know, okay, here's the goal, here's the strategy, and ultimately here's the tactics on how we're going to get there. And they don't play that victim card. They don't play the victim mindset because, honestly, no one wants to listen to the victim mindset. Those companies might not be here long.
They might not be. And that's where I think innovation, is
Yeah.
so important right now for staffing firms.
Yeah.
Really be thinking about not only where the job market is going next year and 5 years from now, and what are going to be the top industries and the top jobs that are in demand, but then also, how is technology, changing our industry, and how do you make sure that you have a strategic plan as a company that's going to align with growth and efficiency and opportunity to position you to take advantage of that. And I do believe our industry is struggling with that a bit right
Hmm.
now. It's one of the reasons I'm actually really excited about Staffing World this year, because I think there's going to be a big focus on AI and a focus on innovation and the future. And that's what staffing firms need more than ever before, because the old way of doing things is already gone. And it's not, the days I've been in the industry for 30 years, right? I remember a lot of ups and downs, but
Yeah.
the opportunity of just like, oh, new orders are coming in. You can't sit around and wait for that to just happen. You have to think differently.
Why do you think the industry gravitates towards the way things were or the way things used to be?
In my opinion, our industry was late to invest in technology. We were more of a lagging industry. I think the way the industry was built many, many years ago was, you know, we all know a company needs a person, they call a recruiter, the recruiter's working their network. And then so much advanced, with applicant tracking systems, and digital marketing as well, and job advertising. But still, our industry as a whole, I would say, was lagging behind with technology to really drive innovation forward. And that probably has a lot to do with the margins of our industry. The shrinking margins don't allow corporations to make those big investments in technology. But however, I think now is the point where companies are realizing they have to invest, otherwise they won't survive, right? They may not be here a year or 3 years from now. So I am seeing CEOs really start to think differently about their digital strategy, about
Mhm.
where things are going in the future, how to leverage efficiencies, how to do more, right? How AI is really changing the game. But that's my opinion. It's just I think we were antiquated for many, many years.
Do you think the small to mid-sized staffing firm can continue to compete and keep up with some of the Goliaths in the room?
I think the small to mid-size are positioned very well because they can probably move faster than some of the big Goliaths. So the big Goliaths might have more investment dollars, but the small to mid-size can be flexible, can be innovative, can try different things, and can make an impact quickly.